Walking is underrated and more people need to be doing it. I'm more than a homebody. You know how people say they're a homebody? Whatever's the next level up from homebody, I'm that. All you gotta do is get me a cat and I'm like one step away from being the cat lady. Let me say this today. Young people can get sick. Young people can get chronic illnesses. So let's not bring that mess over here, okay? Do you want to be laying down and in pain, hurting, where you can barely move and be weak? Or do you want to be in pain, hurting, but at least you can lift something up and go upstairs and shit like that? Basically, it's choosing your pain. That's what we're doing. We're choosing our pain. So I'd rather be able to exercise, move around, have some flexibility versus being, immobile. If I'm going to be in pain either way, then hell. What's up, Fibro fam? So today is my first video on this channel. I'm excited actually. I made this channel because I wanted a place where I could just talk, vent, give insight, motivation, just whatever I feel like in regards to my condition, and have a place, an outlet where I could talk about it. So I thought, why not use my streams? Do some content creating and make it into content, bring more awareness to people. My name is Keke and this is the FibroDiaries. Fibro is fibromyalgia for short. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia last year, and honestly, I feel like I've had it longer than that, like a couple of years longer. But nonetheless, I'm glad I'm finally diagnosed with something. I wanted to make this channel to give more insight, share my learnings, share my findings, because one thing I learned about fibromyalgia is that a lot of people really don't know about it. And when I tried to do more research and look into it, a lot of the videos are kind of old. So I'm like, okay, you know what? A new fresh face to bring to the channel. Why not? And on top of that, I'm young. A lot of times it show older people with it, but let me say this today. Young people can get sick. Young people can get chronic illnesses. So let's not bring that mess over here, okay? It may not look like I have anything going on, but that's the thing with fibro. You may not see it, but you sure as hell can feel it. Welcome guys, my name is Keke, I'm 30 and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and I wanted to make this video to bring some awareness today to what it is. On my channel, I want to promote wellness, healing, and I guess learning and awareness of this condition and what I can do to basically manage it, because the shit ain't curable and all. So you'll be seeing me do a lot of different things on my channel, and if you haven't seen it yet, I did post like a cute little workout video because exercising is good for the body and yada yada. So let's get to it. What the fuck is fibromyalgia? Can we start there? Okay, I have to bring my phone because I have a lot of notes, okay? Fibro means fiber. Myalgia means pain. So it's pain in the muscle fibers and in the fibers of your body. Fibromyalgia is a chronic condition that causes widespread pain, tenderness, and fatigue throughout the body. It's classified as a disorder of how the brain and nervous system process pain signals, meaning the body often amplifies normal sensation into painful ones. Now, of course, you can look more into it if you feel free to want to Google or anything, but I will include a couple of pictures and things just to give a brief overview. I also forgot to mention, obviously, I'm not a healthcare professional. I just want to share my experiences in hopes to motivate others and just simply bring awareness. And of course, to document my journey, I guess. It'll be great to document my journey. So I don't know if I could give you sound advice. I will always tell you to refer to your medical professional, of course, your doctor, whoever you go see, because Lord knows, we probably see about 10 damn specialists at this point. So whoever you go see, it's best to ask those kind of questions, but I'm always open to hear about experiences and stuff in the comments. So when dealing with fibromyalgia, knowing someone who's dealing with fibromyalgia, there are some key things to look for or feel if you're the one that's dealing with it. So one of the main things is widespread pain. So I do get pain throughout almost my entire body, and usually to get diagnosed. They have different like trigger points that are supposed to meet like a certain kind of criteria, which I'll get more later to in the video. But you have different kind of trigger points that hurt throughout your body that more commonly hurt, but then there are some other points that might hurt depending on the person, because fibromyalgia has a bunch of different symptoms, but there is like a list of key symptoms that are pretty much common upon everyone who has it. So one of the key symptoms, of course, is widespread pain in the trigger points or even outside the trigger points. So I have pain throughout my body every single day, and of course this is why I'm filming my videos here, because I'm like, it's comfortable, it's cozy, you know, why not? So it's tough to deal with daily, but I'm managing, which I'll get to how I'm managing it. So if you have the pain in your body for 3 months or more, it becomes chronic. Anything before that is acute. So if you've had the pain in your body for 3 months or more, then it's chronic and you might need to get checked out. Now, one thing I noticed, that's what I went through with people who have the fibromyalgia. I had to go see a bunch of different specialists. When all of this started in the very beginning, I just had pain in my shoulder. So I went to a doctor about it, and then they said, "Are you sure it's not your neck?" They did like other little tests or whatever. And I was like, I guess that hurts too a little bit, but it's my shoulder. And then apparently it ended up being both things. Even though I had got surgery on my shoulder, I still had pain. Later on, I also started to get a pain in my foot. So I went to get that checked out. They said everything looks fine. Of course, there's like a bunion, I guess. And then I developed pain down my arms, my back. It's like it started in one spot and started spreading. So once it started spreading and I've gotten more tests done and all my tests were coming back fine, that's when I went to go see a rheumatologist. So a rheumatologist is a specialist who you would go see. They help with chronic pain conditions such as fibromyalgia, arthritis, things like that. So like I said, you could do more research. Just talk about my experience real quick. But that's when he diagnosed me with fibromyalgia after doing these little, I guess, series of tests. So yeah, that's kind of the story of how I ended up like knowing about it and I guess having it, and we don't know where it exactly comes from. I have been in a series of car accidents in my life. Did it come from there? I have dealt with some stressful events in my life. Did it come from there? Who the fuck knows? It's just annoying, okay? Another thing that people deal with having fibromyalgia is chronic fatigue. So because you're in pain all the time and your body is always working to try to make it better, I think it makes us tired. So I do have chronic fatigue all the time, and I'm starting to monitor and know like which parts of the day are like my high periods and energy and which parts are like my low periods. I want to be able to get to a point where majority of my day could be like high energy and not the other way around. Yeah, so a lot of people who have fibromyalgia that deal with the pain also have chronic fatigue syndrome. Hi, that's me. Another thing people deal with is brain fog. So brain fog is another symptom where you forget things, and I hate that I deal with that and forget things. And I don't know if my medicine plays a part on that too, but yeah, that plays a part too. And then of course, another like main common symptom that, you know, fibromyalgia patients deal with are, or should I say warriors. Fibromyalgia warriors, chronic warriors. We gotta give us a good name. We're warriors. We take on a lot. Another thing that we have to deal with is insomnia and sleep issues. Like, I've been yawning all day. Like, I want to go back to sleep, but before I do, I was like, I have to get this video out. I have to get this done. There's a reason in my heart where I created this YouTube channel, so I have to talk to you guys. So I'm happy to be doing this video before I can try to get some rest, because I feel like it needs to be done. I feel like I got shit to say, and I feel like others do too. And everyone deserves to be heard. So those are the main symptoms that you deal with. You deal with widespread pain, fatigue, sleep issues, brain fog. And then of course there's other symptoms in addition to that that are not as heard about, like itching. Sometimes I get itching on my body, and it's not itching like, oh, it's something there. It's itching like nothing's fucking there. It's under my skin. I don't know how to stop it until it stops on its own. Another one is also IBS, which luckily I don't deal with. You can also get dry eyes, dry mouth, and overactive bladder, which unfortunately I do deal with overactive bladder. But yeah. Oh, and then of course, like, you deal with cold or hot limbs. So like my fingers and toes and hands, feet, they get extremely cold all the time. So even though it's summer and it's hot as fuck outside, I'm in a blanket. I'm in a comforter because I can still feel cold. And I'm not gonna lie, at one point I was like, should I go get checked for lupus? Because a lot of this shit is sounding very similar. But there are some things that lupus people have that I don't have. So I'm like, okay. So now that we kind of went over the overview of what fibromyalgia is and the symptoms that most people pretty much deal with, how do you get tested for the shit? You don't. You basically just meet a criteria. You meet a criteria, and then he'll or she'll say, we think you have this. Like, okay, I went to all these different specialists for all these different body parts. I was seeing a specialist for my shoulder. I was seeing a specialist for my foot. I was seeing a specialist for my hand. I was seeing a specialist for my back. I was going to physical therapy for years for multiple body parts. And then when I felt like everything was coming to a dead end and it was just overwhelming me, I Googled more into like, okay, what other specialists are there that can help with pain? And then that's when I saw neurology. So I did go to a neurologist. When I went to the neurologist, they did a whole nerve study, and he said everything came back fine. Even though he detected, like, obviously one side was more or whatever than the other, it was still overall fine. So here I am, like, what the fuck? All these appointments, all this physical therapy, what is going on with me? And then when I came across a rheumatologist and went to see him, that's when he mentioned fibromyalgia. Mind you, this was a year ago. He mentioned fibromyalgia a year ago. And I was like, what the fuck? What is that? Okay. And then when he told me about the test, I was like, well, how do you diagnose? How do you test? Here's how you do it. What he did was ask a series of questions. He said, how long have you been in pain? I told him how long, which is way past chronic. 3 months is chronic, but I was way past that. I was years in pain at that point. He also asked, where am I hurting? So I told him where I'm hurting. So of course there's the picture of the trigger points, and then I was hurting all those spots. And then he asked, how's my day today? I was like, I'm tired pretty much every day. Hard to get tasks done. It's really annoying. It's impacting relationships. It's impacting friends. It's tiring. What do I do? And then he was like, I think you have fibromyalgia. Mind you, this was a year ago. Kind of weary because I'm like, wait, there's no test. So you're just going to ask me these questions and now we're just going to say this is what it is? Like, I really felt some kind of way. I'm not going to lie. So I told him, I said, okay, thanks for letting me know. I would do more research, and I still want to just rule out a couple of other things. So that's what I did. Saw a few more specialists. Tests came back fine. And the next damn year, I was back in the rheumatologist's office trying to get a prescription to help with the fibromyalgia. So here it is. Here it is. Although there's no like conclusive test for it, there's still certain criteria that you will meet that will put you in the category for fibromyalgia. Just ask your rheumatologist, because I noticed that some do test a little differently, but overall it's still the same. There's no like actual like diagnosis tests like on a computer, like numbers. So that's something to keep in mind. What killed me was, even though everything looked fine, I was still in the ass of pain. I was on track to get neck surgery. I had a herniated disc that was pinching a nerve. It was hurting so much, which was causing all of this, mind you, okay? And then later on, about an extra year and a half later, when I got a whole nother MRI done, he's talking about it moved back in place. I can't do the surgery. I wanted to smack his ass in the face, but I couldn't. It's not his fault, okay? That's what the damn image say. I guess that's what the damn image say. But I was so frustrated, y'all, because I'm like, I'm hurting so bad. We're not gonna sit here and say like, it looked like nothing's wrong when something's fucking there. You know what I'm saying? So that drives me crazy. That's something that you might have to deal with when you're on your medical journey trying to figure out what's going on. You're gonna be seeing a bunch of specialists. You're gonna be seeing a bunch of different people. Probably gonna be a bunch of wasted appointments. Physical therapy. It's so annoying. Another thing we deal with too is light sensitivity. So that's why I have a hat on right now, because some of these lights are kind of bright, but I want the video to be good quality. So there's that. So what does it look like in people? You're not going to really know if someone has it or not because you can't see it, because it's on the inside. It hurts on the inside. So like, you can't see it. So a lot of times we're met with, you don't look like you're in pain, or you don't look like you're hurting. Don't fucking listen to them, okay? If you're hurting and you're in pain and you know your heart, something's going on, listen to yourself, okay? It's something going on in this damn body, and you gotta make sure that you handle it, okay? Because other people don't understand, and they're not going to understand, okay? Now let's talk about managing it. Notice I didn't say treatment, because I dealt with this shit for years and it's not gone despite doing a lot of things. So managing it, because apparently the shit is incurable, okay? So here's how I manage it. Doctors have told me to exercise, eat right, and keep stress low and stretches. I follow the doctor's orders. Now, I understand that everyone is different. I am 30 years old with fibromyalgia. It might not be the same as someone who is 70 years old with fibromyalgia, so I get it. However, I still want to talk about my experience and what I'm doing to manage the pain in hopes that maybe it can help someone else. When I manage my pain, one of the main things I do is try to work with my mindset, because that's the biggest thing. Stress is a huge factor that can cause flare-ups. So I try my best to be as low stress as possible. I'm doing my best. But having low stress could definitely help with managing some of the symptoms. It does not get rid of it, but it does manage it. Because I know when I'm upset and when I'm rah and I'm going in, I'm flared up. High emotions make me flared up. So I try to be chill, try to be low stress as much as I can. And I do that by doing breathing exercises, journaling, video games, finding like hobbies that I like and love, such as crafting. So those kind of things to help me cope and manage my stress. Another thing I do to manage the fibromyalgia is exercising. And you don't have to do no damn HIIT exercise and be bodybuilder, lifting up weights, athletes. Ain't nobody saying that. Go on a damn walk. Okay? Go outside, get some air, get some sunlight. I notice that helps me because a lot of times I'm in the house. I live in the house. I'm more than a homebody. You know how people say they're a homebody? Whatever's the next level up from homebody, I'm that. All you got to do is get me a cat and I'm like one step away from being the cat lady. So I'm at home a lot and I have to make myself go outside and get some fresh air. And I just take like a 30-minute walk. I don't even do a lot, okay? Walking is underrated and more people need to be doing it. I just do a 30-minute walk around the neighborhood. And surprisingly, it actually does help. It does help with my back because I wake up with a lot of stiffness in the morning every morning. So sometimes just getting up, going outside in the morning, starting your day, it can help. In addition to that, I do strength training because I have weakness in a lot of like places where my nerves are the worst. I don't want to be no weak ass old ass bitch, so I need to exercise. So I do strength trainings. I do lift weights. I don't lift heavy weights, but if you can, add some strength training to this because my ass be stumbling and tripping, and now I guess I be fainting too. Like I can faint. I did not know I could faint. I just learned that I can faint. So I try to keep my strength up and keep my cardio up, keep the heart rate going, Yeah. There's a lot to say. I actually hate exercising. I don't enjoy it because I'm always in pain after I exercise. But I've gotten to a point. Do you want to be laying down and in pain, hurting, where you can barely move and be weak? Or do you want to be in pain, hurting, but at least you can lift something up and go upstairs and shit like that? Basically, it's choosing your pain. That's what we're doing. We're choosing our pain. So I'd rather be able to exercise, move around, have some flexibility versus being, immobile. If I'm going to be in pain either way, then hell. So there's that. At least I'm going to do all I can till I can't no more. Hell. Because this shit is trying to take my youth away and I don't like it. Another thing I like to do to manage it is meditation, breathing. That falls under the stress management, but sometimes I feel like it helps my body too, like physically calm my body when I do breathing, trying to figure out the whole meditation thing, but I do breathing for sure. And then I do my stress reducing habits, like crafting and stuff. And then, is there anything else I do? Eating right plays a part. Still working on that part. I'm not gonna lie. Trying to eat right. That plays a part. And those are the main things they told me. Yeah. Medicine. When it comes to medicine, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it just depends on the person. I can't even answer that shit. Because I tried a variety of medicines and I'm at a point where I feel like nothing works. But also, I just tried this new medicine and it seemed like it's doing something, but I heard that coming off of it is ass. So we're gonna see. I don't know. But right now, I'm doing what I gotta do to make this shit work, okay? And you gotta do what you gotta do to make the shit work. So medicine, I can't really give advice on what work and don't work, but all I can say is what I'm taking. Also, monitoring your pain is a great way to manage it as well, because you can keep track of your patterns and everything, and it'll make you more self-aware of your body, and you could be able to prepare and accommodate for that. I like to use my journal to keep track of my pains and symptoms for the day. So I do have a YouTube channel where I focus on stationery. That channel has almost 5K subscribers. It's such a fun vibe over there. So if you want to check it out, check out Planetoid on YouTube. I'll link it down below. But that's my main YouTube channel where I give ideas and tips and inspiration on how you could decorate your stationery and planners. And recently I did just do a pain journal tour, which I plan to do another one on here, and it's going to be more in depth. But yeah, so I keep track of all my pains and symptoms each day, as well as my mood and appointments in a journal. I just wanted to share, isn't this cute? I actually just took the time to decorate the front of my journal with some stickers, and I want to add them to my shop very soon. I do have an Etsy shop where I sell some stationery too, so definitely check that out. I'll link that too. But yeah, I want to add some fibro chronic cute stationery in the shop soon. So yeah. Hopefully this video was helpful. I just wanted to just kind of give a little insight, bring awareness, a little intro. We're just trying to get into it, okay? I do plan to put out more videos with more ideas and inspiration on how we can manage our wellness with our chronic pains. And I guess that's it. So yeah, I'll see y'all next time whenever the next video is. And thanks for watching. If you want to share your experience down below, of course, you can share your experience down below.